Okay, before we start, you always want to go in and read the assignment. So you should have done assignment number one. You should have read it, made sure that you have everything in there. You need to have it in order for you to get the best grade possible. So then you're going to start assignment number two. It says animated bouncing ball, but you come down here and you see that you could do something other than that. And I want you to challenge yourself. I did what I did here for a demonstration just in a few hours. I'm sure that you guys could do much better in the amount of time that I'm giving you to do this because it's much more than 2 hours. So just make sure you have everything within this document all in this video here. So make sure you read this, make sure that you go and check the rubric before you hand it in. Okay, so how we're going to start off is we're going to go into Photoshop. We're going to open up our sketch. We're going to check the assignment sheet. We know that it's 500 by 500. We're going to go to New. And we're going to open up 500 by 500 pixel file. So we want to make sure we're 500 pixels width and height and 72 dots per inch. Should be RGB also, since it's screen. All right, so let's enlarge that a little bit. Let's move out. See, we're tabbed. It kind of saved into where we had the sketch there. So now that I have my sketch up here, what I want to do is I want to give this white this kind of a brownish background because it's not going to be cut out perfectly. So the best thing for me to do right now, since you want everything to look the best you can, go back in to see if I have a better area to pick here. Let me just pick this area here. Go longer. Maybe it could fit. Maybe I could fit the whole height. I'm going to try to fit as much possible as I can in the height. I'm just going to paste that here. Bring it over to this side. And I am going to I just selected all and aligned it to the right side. And I'm going to hit Option, and I'm on this layer. And I'm going to click and drag to drag out another one. And right now I'm going to just use Command T for transform. So this pulls up the transform control, and I'm going to rotate this around, hit return, and put these two together here. You can see they kind of lined up, but they're flip-flopped. So Command T again, right click, and then I want to flip vertical. Now you can see that it kind of fits. I want to get rid of these little areas here where it looks like it's reflected. So I could use my my clone stamp and just clone by hitting Option, and you get this little marker here. It tells you where you're going to clone from, and then click and let go, and then you click again down here, and you could see the crosshair clones from up there down to the bottom. So now we have that settled. Now what I want to do is merge these two down. So I can go select my top one because it's going to merge down. Click over here to the little menu, and I'm going to go to merge down. So it merges that down. When we're all done, I'm going to merge it, the visible. So let's do the same thing. Hit Option. We're on this layer. Click and drag to move it over. But I just want to give it the same look. All right, so then I have that set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this bottom layer where I can see it when I copy and I paste in. So I'm going to use my lasso tool here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I am going to just make a loose selection around this hairball here, and then I'm just going to copy. You could go to edit, copy, or you could go to Command C. I always use Command C, and then go over to your working file here that we're using, and Command V for paste. And you could see that outside part, you could see there. I want to make sure that you guys are doing it. It's almost flawless. So what I would do is I would go into your layer here. You could add a layer mask. Now use a brush. So you want to go here to use your brush. Make your brush size pretty small. You could change your brush size up here. You can make it smaller or larger here. So kind of small. You could zoom in. When you use black, you're taking away, you see? Now, when you use white, you're adding it back. You're never deleting. You're never using your eraser. The time you use the eraser, you're going to mess up, and then you can't come back and fix it later on. So you just want to select the outside like this. There's different ways you could do this. So for right now, I'm showing you how you could brush out the outside. You kind of want to see it where it's like this so that you don't see all this extra stuff floating around here. But also, if you go back here, you go to a layer other than the one that you're on. This is your mask. I'm on my mask. So now that I'm on my layer. So if I was to have it on black and I start going like that, now you see I'm drawing on this layer. So you want to make sure you're on your mask layer when you're doing that. You could also create a selection from what we have here. So I usually just maybe go onto another layer and then go to select color range, and then you can select the outside parts. So it kind of selects those areas, and I would try to bring it down some so it makes the selection a little bit tighter. Then you want to go back to your mask. I can zoom in, and I can just brush away this outside part without having to worry about taking away the black there, or the darker. So let me hide that, and you can see it does a pretty good job. If I take this away, see there's a little bit in there. Like I don't want to go too far. It looks okay against the background. That was the whole reason why I wanted to make the background similar to what my sketch looks like. So there we have one ready to go. All right, so we kind of want to see it move when we have a couple of these in here. So I'm going to bring out our timeline. But before that, I want to show you my storyboard. So I have it. It's just the basic idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. This one doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to give you an idea of how the animation is going to flow. So the camera is going to follow it. That's why you're seeing the ground. And you see the ground here. And when it hits the ground, you're going to see that the ground is fully there. But when it's on its way up, you still see the ground. It's moving up. And then when it's going down, you see, I think it's going in this direction here. So I just want to make sure you guys have your timeline so that it doesn't confuse you. Like it should act as a guide for yourself. So I have this first one in here. I kind of want to bring it up a little bit more. So I'm going to use my move tool. Make sure these two are linked, because you could unlink them. You don't want to do that. You want to make them linked. We'll bring this up here, right about, I guess, here. And to bring our timeline, we want to go to Window, and we want to go to Timeline. Now, we want to use frame animation. So we want to create frame animation, and you see it's here. Now, what we're going to do is, after we create one, we're going to go to the next one. So we want to just start here. You don't want to create 6 frames or whatever it is. because whatever you do on this first frame affects every other frame. So as you go along, you go to the second one. Now we're going to go and grab, say we grab this one here, do like a really loose selection like we did the last one. Doesn't have to be, I'm going to get it so that it's close enough, but it doesn't have to be perfect because we have to fix it over here. So then we'll just paste it. Now on this one, I want it slightly above, so it's kind of slowing up here. So I want it slightly above, and we could take away the one in the back, right? So you kind of see there's two on this frame, so we want to make sure that we do not have that second one on that frame, and then bring it back. See how it was on that first frame when I brought it in. Now this is going to happen on every frame, because now you see that now we troubleshoot. All right, so then we can just do a selection on this one, and let's bring this one in. This will save us time. Let's move it up. Now bring this one in. All right, so now we would go in and clean these up. So I'm going to just do a quick time lapse so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me do that, because I showed it on the first one. So I'm just going to go into the second one. What I'm going to do is hide the rest of those, and I'll hide the first one. I might as well click and get rid of my second frame here and just do it when I'm finished with all of these. So do the editing first and then come back. Let's do the editing on this one, because if I wanted to see it here, I know I have to do editing. All right, so now back to animation, since we have all of these done here. And what I would do is I would kind of put these in order. So I'm going to kind of grab these here, maybe see if there's any that needs to be fixed a little bit. Maybe this one, if I look in here and want to add this back here, just brushing it back, and see this one here, brush some back on this one, but it'll look better once everything is together. All right, so now I think I want to stop where I want to start, where the ball is kind of floating in the air, coming down. So I think the one coming down is this one here. Okay, so then I'm going to start off with that one up top. Then that one's going to be seen with the line on the top here. So I'll just bring that line down, because that's the that's going to be the last thing you see before it drops. So I'll just so it's going to be seen sort of like that there. So then we'll see that. Let's get rid of all the other ones. Okay, so we see it's coming down. I don't know if that's a little, yeah, that's the, I think that's the one. All right, so then we'll go for another frame. We'll take that away, both of those, and we'll bring the one that's hitting the ground. We could bring this down just a bit. We'd have to just select it right here, bring it down just a bit here like that. I just used my arrow keys to nudge it down since I was on my move tool. All right, so then if you look there, the camera's moving also. Camera's moving down. All right, we bring another one in. We get rid of that frame. And I'm going to bring this floor back in because we want the floor to here, here. Now it's going to go back up and the camera's moving back up. So this one will be moving up. Bring this up here, bring it into order, down, hit, going back up. Right, so then we add another frame, get rid of that, and get rid of the floor because it's going to go up even further. But the camera is going to follow it up. So let's use, let's see, what's the next one? Could use this one here. This is the next one. And we want to make sure that it's higher than that one. We don't want it to look like it's falling down. We want to make sure that it looks like it's still going up. So that should be good. So the camera is following it up, and that should be shown through the floor. And we could move it up just a little bit more, just to show a little bit of movement. Okay. And we could use another frame. We add the next one. Make sure you're on the right frame before you move it. Bring that up there. You see it's a little off. Okay, so that seems good. It's going down. Could use a frame by frame. Go down, go up, up, hit, and then let's add another frame here with the plus. Now we use this one here. All right. And then let's see, there. All right, so then it will continue to loop. So let's see what it looks like. Right now it's on 0 seconds as the in between. So like if we moved or we changed, say the one that hits the ground to like 0.2 seconds, it's going to wait 0.2 of a second before it comes back up. So it could come in handy. It's, you know, it's like almost like you could use it in a way where it sort of eases in, eases out in a way. So let's see how this looks. See how it stopped? Probably doesn't work as well. Just stops there, kind of. And maybe if we bring it to 1, maybe it's a little bit better. So that's a little bit better. But that's how you create your own little animation, frame by frame animation. Let's change this to no delay, and then you can see it's the way it should look. And I would probably, because that floor gets kind of lost, I would change it. But there's always little tweaks that you could do to make it better. Like I want you to be able to spend the time in creating this in order for you to understand how to do it in case you need to do it in the future. Also, probably going to take this into Animate and try to do a frame by frame in Animate to show a little bit more. But make sure you're creating much more detail. Make sure you're putting a lot of effort into it. There's a lot of time on these projects right now. I could put a lot more projects out there, but I really want you to retain the information I'm giving you right now. So I think it's better for you guys to just go and create the best animation that you can. Uh, so that it may help a lot of you guys with the ones that, or especially you guys that are trying to do animation as your end of the year project.